What's up? It's your boy Corey B. So this is a follow-up to my last video, and I hope you tuned in. So I was talking a lot about just being able to invest, and when it comes to like investing in the stock market and things like that, there's like circumstances, that you have to gauge. Okay, and when I talked about a particular story about a friend of mine. Talked about a friend of mine who they saw things changing in the market. They had lost some equity, right? And so as they lost some of their money, they felt like it was time to sell. Okay, so I talked about a lot of different things. If you haven't viewed it, go back and check it out. If you've already viewed it, thank you. Much appreciated. I appreciate y'all staying tuned in. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the people reaching out. So yeah, let's break it down. Let's get into it. So what I want to talk about is just the idea that in that video that I posted, there was more details that needed to be added, and I didn't have time to really give it the attention that it needed. Okay. And so the main detail that I feel like really needed more attention is just circumstance, okay? Circumstance. So look, when it comes down to it, we've all got different circumstances. We got different situations that we're in. Everybody's got their own life, their own timeline, and everybody's getting their information at a different point in their life. Not everybody's Buffett who's gonna invest in their first stock at the age of 11. Not everybody is going to, be able to have their first real estate venture at the age of 22. So when it comes down to it, circumstance dictates a lot that I've realized far too many people neglect to talk about. Okay, so everybody wants to talk about like there's this special recipe, right? Like if you listen to all the gurus out there, you listen to, it doesn't matter who you're talking to, you listen to all of them, they all have the plan, right? The plan, right? And it's not that their plan is wrong, but their plan may not work for you. Or maybe their plan will work for you, but it needs to be modified slightly. Maybe along the way that you're implementing said plan, you're going to have to call some audibles. You know what I mean? You're going to have to make some changes or some just modifications, right? Okay, so like Buffett, his plan is pretty simple. He said it countless times, what he does isn't special at all. He says what he does is he reads, constantly educating, constantly learning, constantly trying to analyze and develop what is it that's happening in the market right now, what makes a company good, what makes an investment a good idea, what takes the risk out of the situation. Like he's constantly reading and learning more. He's been doing this his entire life. Well, you don't have 80 years to learn what Buffett's learned, because you didn't even think about investing in the stock market till you were 35. So you've already got half of that. Half of the time he spent reading is gone. Okay. Look at someone like Cardone. Grant Cardone, he's got a plan. 10x it. Whatever you're doing, let's multiply it, right? Let's multiply everything you're doing. But his focus is primarily real estate. He's got some other things here and there, but when he comes down to it, it's real estate. It's real estate because that's what he knows. That's what he knows. That's what he loves. That's what he can see is concrete and tangible. Everybody's always going to need a roof. Doesn't matter who you are, where you are, what's going on in the world. No matter the recession, a pandemic, a depression, you need a roof. There are people who's going to need a roof to live under. There's people who's going to need a roof to conduct their business under. People need a roof. So that's his plan. Well, some people say, well, I don't know if I can do what he did. He makes it seem so simple. Well, he also, if you really know his story, he actually got started kind of late in life. It was later in life when he got all this worked out and he really figured things out and really fine-tuned. So his pitch is, let me tell you what took me a lifetime to learn. Let me tell you so you can jump in right now. Now, a lot of that hinges on being able to find deals, being able to find these real estate opportunities. Maybe you're not the type of person who's going to hunt for those kind of deals. Maybe you're not the type of person who's going to haggle and negotiate to get a great property. Maybe you're not the type of person who really wants to put in all that kind of work. And maybe you don't have the capital behind you to not put in that type of work. See, now, Cardone did it with a little bit amount of money. Very little amount of money. We're in a different world than we were 10 years ago. We're in a different world than we were 20 years ago. It takes a little bit more than that, a little bit now. Everybody's got their own story, right? And everybody could tell you, well, my way works. My way works for me. Now, I respect, okay, let me back it up for a sec. I'm a good old boy. I'm a Texas boy, right? I'm a jock also. I love football, love basketball, love hip hop. You know what I mean? I grew up listening to hip hop and playing football, played street hockey. Man, I grew up being, a competitor. It's kind of in my nature. I had a little brother. Me and my brother competed on absolutely everything. Competed on football, basketball. We competed in wrestling. Like, everything was a competition. Everything. Now, I wanted to see my brother Jason succeed. I wanted him to crush every opponent out there, but not me. Crush everybody, but not me. Same thing for Jason. He looked at me the same way. Corey, crush everybody, but when it comes to me, I'm taking you down. That's it. So we were born competitors, right? Now, so being that athletes is competitive, things like I said, music, hip hop is competitive. It's very ego driven, right? Business is very ego driven. Something that drew me to business from a young age was its competitive nature, was the competitive aspect of business. I was sucked in. I loved that. I was so excited about that from the time I was a kid. I was just like, man, that's cool. Like, I loved it. I loved watching movies about business with my mom. I love, it got exciting. I don't remember how old I was when I watched Wall Street, but that movie was dope. I loved that drive. I did. Another good one was Trading Places. That was a dope one too. That's a whole social psychology experiment, so to speak, also. But there was also the stock market, which was competitive. Anyways, but I've always thrived on that. I've always been excited and thrilled and it got inside me, made me want to do things, right? Now, maybe you, maybe not. But see, so when I look at some of these, gurus and whatnot, some of the people who have already made it, they've already got this big successful business, and they got a little bit of a, what I'm saying? They're a little bit cocky. They're a little bit, I don't like arrogance too much, but I love it when they're confident. Confident and cocky is good. And so when I look at some of them and I see that, O'Leary, Cardone, I like that aspect. You know what I'm saying? Cardone tends to put his foot in his mouth. He's a little bit loudmouth. That's all right. I ain't mad at him. But like I said, Mark Cuban, I like these guys who are confident. It's a cool thing. It appeals to my nature to see a businessman who's incredibly confident, right? But I also respect the humble nature of them as well. And not all of them got that. To me, you need a balance. You truly do. You need a balance of confidence humbleness. Someone like Buffett is humble. He believes that what he does isn't special. He speaks about it at great lengths. What he does is not special. Munger is a little bit more cocky than Buffett, but he's pretty humble. He's like, yeah, anybody could do this, but I do it well, you know? Okay, so this is what I'm saying. I can respect the arrogance, the cockiness, the confidence. I can respect the humbleness, right? But at the end of the day, does your circumstance, does it welcome their plans? Kiyosaki, Ramsey, like the list goes on. I could name drop for 20 minutes of all these great-minded people who have done great things in business. The question is if they got a great plan, right? Does that plan work for you? Can you incorporate what they do into your business? Does it fit with your timeline? See, the thing that got me thinking about this is something else my partner, as me and my homeboy were talking the other day, right? And I was talking about this friend of mine who I felt could have done things slightly different with her portfolio. But he brought up something. He's like, man, how old is this girl, man? How old is this lady, right? And I was like, well, she's mid-60s. He was like, dog, for real? Like, you got to remember, keep in perspective timelines. And you know, the thing that's got me thinking is like, if you're willing to put in the time, if you're willing to put in the effort, if you're willing to, you know, grind those numbers and read, and really study what's happening, you don't got to wait a lifetime to make money like Buffett, right? You don't. But it's going to take a lot of level of dedication and commitment to try to do that kind of thing in a shorter amount of time. Buffett did it over the span of a lifetime. There's lots of other people, like, you know, that have done it in a shorter amount of time. Have they done it on the level of success that he has? Not really. Not really. But if they gotten to a high enough level that their family's taken care of, they can provide for their family, they can have financial freedom in a shorter amount of time. Yeah. But are you willing to devote and dedicate yourself to that? Now, if you're not, if you don't want that to be your existence, maybe that's not the plan for you. So just because, see, people frequently, I see it on social media, TikTok, Twitter, I see it all the time. People want to talk about, oh, well, this person doesn't know anything. They're so detached from reality. This person, they talk about Ramsey like that. They talk about Kiyosaki like that. Talk about Cardone like that. They talk about O'Leary. They talk about these guys that they don't know reality. They're so detached from reality, they've got no grasp on it anymore. They got no concept. Therefore, their plans and their business model, their idea to help somebody else is completely just skewed by their lack of, like, reality. They have no grasp on what's going on with the regular, normal, common man. So how could they possibly come up with a plan that works for the common man? Now, that plan works for a business. That plan works within a business model, but does it work for a person? Because a person has to implement said model to get the business off the ground and flourishing. Yeah, see, that's where it gets sketchy, man. That's where it gets a little hazy, things get a little tricky, and people are starting to question what's real and what's not. Well, I did what Cardone said, it doesn't work. does. Obviously, he did it. It obviously works. Well, I took O'Leary's advice, and that dude's an idiot. No, he's not. Absolutely not. How could you even say that? Look at the success the man has had off of utilizing his brain. He's got a functioning brain. Come on! Like, people who are throwing shade at these people are just haters. At the end of the day, that's all it is. It's just hate. When you're successful, there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be somebody trying to knock you down, trying to shake you down, trying to tell you that it's not fair that you've succeeded and they're still at the bottom. It is fair because they dedicated themselves to something. They dug deep. They dug deep and gave everything they had into something. I'm on my way, ladies and gentlemen. Telling you, your boy Corey B is going to be a household name. Everybody may not know me yet, but plenty of people do, and I'm on my way. Mark my words, I'm telling you I'm on my way. Why? Because I'm putting everything that I've got, every fiber of my being into my business. I've built my business, my brand, and my legacy around my wife and my boys. It's built on a foundation of God. Everything that's who I am is in my business. Now, you say, how am I supposed to get to this level or that level? Or this person got to this level because of luck? No. Yes, every now and then somebody gets a lucky break. It does happen. But at the end of the day, the majority of the people who are at this level fought. They scratched, they clawed, they worked their way to that spot. Because they gave everything they had. Everything they got, they put into that. I'm there. I'm doing it. I'm right here with you. Now, if you want to be that person, if you want to take everything you've got and put it into it, grow your business, develop your investment portfolio, branch out into real estate, become a skilled trader, develop a brand for you, yourself, your family, your business, your product, your whatever. You want to build a brand? I'm right here with you. I'm riding with you. Y'all stay tuned. You give your boy some love. Hit that like button. Put your comments below. Tell me what your business is. I'll plug it. Let's talk about it. What's your business? Let's talk about what you're growing. Let's talk about what you're doing. You got things you want to talk about? You got things that you'd love me to comment on? That you'd say, hey, we haven't talked about this before. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your family. Let's talk about your business model. Let's talk about money. Money, money, money. Man, I love talking about money. Some people think that makes me superficial. Some people say that makes me shallow. I've literally had people tweet at me and hit me up on Instagram saying, you know what? There's more to life than money. Yes, there absolutely is. So much more. If you know me, if you've been tuned in, you've been paying attention, I build my business based on my family, based on, it's a firm foundation of God and my family. But with that being said, money is important. Why is money important? Because money's going to get the things I need to take care of my family. Money's going to get the things I need to support my community. Money's going to get me the opportunity to grow my business, branch out into other areas, do good things for my community, offer jobs. Your boy's been called a privileged white boy before. Me! Come on, man. Look, like I said, I'm riding with you, okay? Y'all stay with me. Y'all want to do this? Let's do it. You want to build something great? Let's build it. If that's not for you, if you're not willing to put your whole self into it, check out. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. And more important, don't waste your money. And why do I say don't waste your money is more important than wasting your time? Let me break that down for you. Because I rarely think time is wasted. I've got several friends who went to college. Some of them, we knew each other outside of college and they went to college somewhere else. Several friends that went to college with me who got majors in things they ultimately, when they got out of school, they did not utilize their degree for what the job that they took, the position, the career path that they took did not match their degree. But most of those people that I know, that are close personal friends of mine, they wouldn't say they wasted their time in school. They wouldn't even say they wasted their money in school. Because they learned so many things. Learned so many things. And I believe that that's true about most circumstances, most situations. If you go into a situation and things go left and things don't work out right, it doesn't have to be a loss of time. It could be a learning experience. It could be, I don't know, an opportune moment to see things from a different perspective. I don't know. Whatever your circumstance is, if you're married, you got kids, you're getting close to retirement, and you're like, you know what? I never got into investing before. I never got into real estate before. I never traded before. I never launched a business before. I never had a desire for any of these things either. Then you know what? If you're happy and content with your life and you don't want to invest the time and energy into growing those things or developing those skills, then don't. It's fine. I ain't mad at you. See, I think too many people out there, hey, this is the way. This is the great thing you can do. This is the thing I know how to do. I can teach you how to do it. My way is the best way. But they push. The only way is this way. All other ways are wrong. But that's not true. We're all so incredibly unique and different. And there's so many ways to make money and so many opportunities out there in life that you don't have to do one certain thing. Not even remotely close. You just don't. There's not one answer. There's lots of answers. So to follow up on where I was before, it's too often that circumstance isn't brought up in the plan of investing. Let's talk about how long it's going to take to get your return. How much money do you really have to put into it? Can you afford to put that money in? Can you afford to put the time in to actually learn and grow and develop those things? Like, are you ready? Do you have the energy? Do you feel like it? Do you want to? Circumstance dictates so much. But that's not talked about. It's not talked about. People talk about money. People talk about the point A to point B. How do you get from where you are to where you want to be? And what are the steps that are going to take you there? That's what people talk about. People talk about the steps. What's going to take you? My way is better than his way. My way is better than her way. Her way, it's better than his way. Not as good as mine. That's what they all tell you. These are the things. But they don't say, let's break down circumstance and talk about it. But they need to. Because what's your circumstance? Does your circumstance, is it going to change things? Is what you want to do, circumstance going to hold it back? Is the plan that you're looking at fit within your circumstance and the timeline in which you want to do it? These are things you got to consider. Look, I hope this is helping. I want to keep diving more into this. I really want to get more into talking about the stock market and investing in real estate and more. I really want to just keep expanding and opening this up more and more and more. So please, any of y'all got y'all's comments, y'all hit me up. Y'all know how to find me. Instagram, B and Corey B. TikTok, Corey Bayless. Or, I'm sorry. TikTok is the Bayless Boys. And on Twitter, it's Corey Bayless. So y'all please hit that subscribe button, ding that bell, get your notifications. Y'all don't want to miss out on any of this. I'm going to keep laying it down for you. It's your boy. I got love for y'all. I got respect for y'all. I want y'all to lift each other up. Lift yourself up. Let's get it done. Get cocky, y'all. Y'all have a good night.